Welcome to How Things Work, where we demystify the complex systems required to live aboard a sailboat in a harsh, corrosive environment. A sailboat is a complex machine operating in one of the most corrosive environments on Earth, where salt spray constantly attacks stainless steel. Saltwater, UV radiation, and constant motion attack every surface, meaning maintenance must be proactive to avoid emergencies in the worst possible conditions. The sailor who maintains ahead of the problem never faces an emergency, while those who wait for failure often face it at sea. We begin with daily habits. Check the bilge every morning to ensure no water intrusion, and inspect engine oil and raw water impellers. A dry bilge is a sign of a healthy boat, while a wet bilge that was dry yesterday indicates a new, urgent problem. Always check engine oil and raw water coolant before every engine start, as a failed impeller can overheat and seize an engine quickly. Weekly, examine standing rigging from deck level, using binoculars to inspect spreader bases, shroud terminals, and all critical mast fittings. Look closely for cracks at swage terminals, broken wire strands, and any movement at chain plates where the shrouds enter the deck structure. Lubricate all blocks, winches, and turning hardware with marine-grade PTFE spray to ensure they operate smoothly under the high loads of sailing. Annually, haul the boat to inspect the hull, keel bolts, rudder fittings, and propeller shaft seal to ensure the boat remains seaworthy. Replace zinc anodes that protect underwater metal from galvanic corrosion, as a depleted zinc can destroy a bronze propeller in one season. Beyond maintenance, we address the galley, the most demanding kitchen on Earth, where safety protocols are essential for every single meal prepared. Every surface is moving, every unsecured pot is a projectile, and every open flame is a fire hazard in an enclosed space. Because propane is heavier than air, it requires a dedicated bilge sniffer and solenoid valve to prevent dangerous gas accumulation in the hull. This gas sinks into the bilge and collects undetected until a single spark ignites it, making the sniffer your most critical safety device. Before lighting the stove, always sniff the bilge, and before leaving the boat, close the solenoid valve to cut off the gas supply. Gimbaled stoves pivot on bearings that keep the cooking surface level regardless of the boat's heel angle, preventing spills during rough weather. Fiddle rails surround every burner, acting as metal walls that prevent pots from sliding off the stove when the boat is in motion. Lee cloths are fabric barriers rigged along berths and galley positions, holding the sailor against the counter with both hands free for tasks. Prepare complex meals at the dock, not at sea, to ensure you can eat well even when conditions make cooking difficult or dangerous. Soups, stews, and one-pot meals are the foundation of offshore cooking, as they heat without constant attention and stay in the pot. High-energy snacks like nuts and dried fruit should be staged in the cockpit, accessible without the need to go below during a watch. In rough conditions, many sailors eat snacks and one hot meal per 24 hours, which is practical seamanship rather than simple hardship. A well-run sailboat has a place for every line, and every line in its place which keeps the deck clear and safe. A deck littered with loose lines creates trip hazards, tangles under load, and accelerates line wear through constant abrasion and UV exposure. Running rigging, including halyards and sheets, should be coiled and either hung on their cleats or stored in dedicated cockpit line bags. A coiled halyard deploys instantly, whereas a halyard stuffed under a winch without coiling will jam at the moment it needs to run. Sheets are tailed, meaning the loose end is pulled neatly through the system and coiled where it will not be stepped on. Dock lines should be stored in dedicated bags mounted near the bow and stern, ensuring they are ready for immediate use when docking. Never store dock lines loose in a sail locker where they tangle with sheets and sailbags, making them impossible to deploy quickly. Inspect all lines periodically by pushing the sheath back at high load points to check the core for signs of crushing or kinking. A line that looks clean on the outside can carry a broken core from a single overloaded event and fail without warning. Fresh water is the most critical consumable aboard, and unlike other supplies, it cannot be easily rationed or substituted for long. Most cruising sailboats carry 30 to 100 gallons in integral tanks molded into the hull structure, which are difficult to inspect. Integral tanks cannot be removed, which is why contamination often goes undetected until the water begins to smell or taste wrong. Flush tanks with a diluted bleach solution at the start of every season and rinse them completely before refilling with fresh water. Water makers convert raw salt water to fresh water at sea through reverse osmosis, providing a reliable supply for long-distance passages. A 12-volt unit producing 15 gallons per hour meets a couple's daily needs on passage with no draw on the main tanks. The average offshore cruising sailor uses just 3 gallons of fresh water per person per day, compared to household averages of 80 gallons. Saltwater dishwashing with a freshwater final rinse and saltwater sponge baths are the habits that make long passages possible on limited capacity. These practices are not deprivation, but rather the system working exactly as designed to maximize your endurance while out at sea. Every boat produces 2 categories of wastewater, and handling them correctly is both a legal obligation and a core seamanship responsibility. Gray water comes from the galley sink, cockpit drains, and shower sump, and must be managed according to local environmental regulations. Beyond 3 miles offshore, gray water is discharged overboard in most jurisdictions, but in marinas, it must be held or pumped out. Black water is the output of the marine head, and in U.S. waters within 3 miles of shore, its discharge is federally prohibited. It enters the holding tank and stays there until the boat reaches a pump-out station or proceeds legally into international waters. Many sailors accidentally discharge black water in no-discharge zones because they do not understand which valve controls the flow of waste. The marine head system has a minimum of 3 critical valves: the head intake, the head outlet, and the holding tank diverter. Post a laminated diagram at the head showing the correct valve position for every operating mode to prevent accidental environmental contamination. Every person aboard, including crew and guests, must be able to operate the head system correctly the first time they use it. The dock is where most boat damage occurs, not offshore, because the forces of wind and tide act on the boat constantly. A boat properly secured is protected against wind shifts, tidal range, current, and the wake surge from passing traffic in the marina. A boat improperly secured works against its dock lines, leading to chafe and potential damage to the hull or the dock itself. Ensure fenders are positioned at the correct height to protect the hull from pilings, regardless of the changing tide levels throughout the day. Check your dock lines for signs of chafe, especially where they pass through chocks or over rough edges of the dock structure. Use snubbers or rubber compensators on your dock lines to absorb the shock of waves and surges, which reduces stress on your deck cleats. Always leave enough slack for the tide, but not so much that the boat can strike the dock during a heavy wind event. By mastering these systems, you transform the boat from a source of constant stress into a reliable home that thrives on the water. This is the knowledge that separates the sailor who merely survives the passage from the one who truly thrives on it. Efficient seamanship relies on meticulous organization and disciplined resource management. A well-run deck ensures that every line has a dedicated, secure place. Halyards and sheets should be neatly coiled or stored in bags. This prevents dangerous trip hazards and ensures they deploy instantly without any jamming. Beyond deck organization, we must examine water storage. Cruising sailors must master the art of conservation, often using only 3 gallons per person daily. Integral water tanks require seasonal flushing to maintain purity. For those seeking true independence at sea, modern water makers provide a reliable, endless supply. Next, we address waste management. This includes gray water from sinks and showers, as well as black water sourced from the marine head system. Black water discharge is strictly regulated. You must have a clear understanding of your intake and outlet seacocks and the holding tank diverter valves. Always post a laminated diagram at the head. This ensures every guest can operate the system correctly, preventing accidents and maintaining environmental safety standards. Whether you are out at sea or tied to a dock, these systems define the difference between a sailor who survives and one who thrives.